Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. And a big thank you to those who are supporting our charity car project. We are at 50,000 Kenyan shillings and we are moving. And I know in a few weeks' time or months, God is making his way so that we are able to afford this vehicle so that it can assist us in running a charity programs, including carrying of heavy luggages. Kaka, something strange has happened today, and I don't know if it was William Ruto proposal. I'm not yet clear about the issue, but then our parliament is under state capture, and I believe whatever decision they made is for the best interest of the president. I want to believe so, or unless Parliament has woken up from its slumber and it has decided to be independent, which I personally doubt. So I want to assume whatever they have done today is either for the best interest of the originator or for the best interest of our country. The two motives are not yet clear, but let me say this. Parliament has stopped the implementation of William Ruto's education reforms. And according to the National Assembly, Wetangula, Moses said it's unlawful for the recommendation to be enacted before they pass through Parliament. And he said the work of members of Parliament is to legislate. So it's the responsibility of the members of Parliament to make laws. No any other public servant, including the president, as per the Constitution, is allowed to do so. So he said issues to do with enacting laws or legislation should first be debated in Parliament before they are enacted. And this is what he said. I repeat, no minister of government can purport to make law or do things that appear to be in the SIC that they are made law, because they have no capacity to make any law. Now, we know this petition was brought to Parliament by a Muhaya Member of Parliament who is Omboko Milemba. Omboko Milemba is a teacher by profession and has been a leader in the COPORATIVE. Is the one who brought the petition in the Parliament. And he said the proposal from the president has created rifts between members of Parliament and even the education stakeholders. So he believed it's an issue that should be scrapped because it is affecting the education sector rather than building our education sector, including the TSC itself. It's divided on this issue. Now, Omboko Milemba argues that such recommendations should be suspended until they are debated in Parliament. And this is what he said. The recommendations that the Ministry of Education reveals the grades for pre-service teachers jeopardize TSC's mandate as provided under Article 237(3) of the Constitution. The Working Party also recommended that the ministry establishes a comprehensive school system where all levels of learning are managed as one institution, contrary to the Kenyan Constitution. The Working Party further recommends, that is the UDA, that the ministry recruits staff for special needs in institutions which will interfere with the Teacher Service Commission mandate. as Mboko Milemba was arguing, the proposal was supported by other members of parliament who confirmed that the recommendations should be presented in parliament as a bill, be debated, be passed or thrown out by the legislators themselves. This is what Samuel Chepkonga, the Aina Bukoi member of parliament, said. The recommendations made by the working party remain recommendations until they are reduced to a bill and brought to this house, or it's reduced into a regulation which is brought to this house and committed to a committee. Now, Kimani Ichung'wah said that he will consult with the Minister of Education and give back a report to Parliament. This is what he said. To me, I have nothing much to add because the law is the law. Nobody, including the cabinet secretaries, have the power to make law, even a presidential working party. The best they can do is to make recommendations which, if adopted, those that touch on statutes, then it must begin from this house, he said. Now, Kaka, looking at this ruling from the speaker, I want to make my assumptions as follows. One, I have learned to know President Ruto as a cunning president, clever and cheeky. In this way, could be he has seen his recommendations are not going to work as expected. So the best thing is to just see a way of working behind the closed curtains, to have this issue thrown out without necessarily creating much attention to it. You remember what Ruto did to the caste positions. He appointed them, gave them cars, gave them offices, but later spoke to courts. The courts threw out the positions, terming them as illegal, unlawful, and unconstitutional. Then Ruto now came and said, mimi niliwapea kazi, sheria imekataa, so sio mimi mbaya. That is how Ruto works. The recommendations, one, can work for the best interest of the public or for the best interest of the president, depending on how he has seen this idea is going to work going forward. You can't tell me that the Speaker of the National Assembly can stand to go against the will of the president. It will never happen, especially, okay, other parliaments have done so in previous years, but then with this regime, I doubt, unless something new is cooking, which I don't want to guarantee that parliament is independent. We know our wabunge wote wako in this parliament, hawa ni vikaragosi, the executive. So whatever they debate is only for the best interest of the executive, like the office of the president and the office of the deputy president. So I want to believe whatever that was ruled in parliament by Moses Wetangula, as much as it looks from the public image that they are independent, they are able to reject a proposal from the president. For those people who don't understand the current politics, could say, or maybe they could make a decision and say, okay, if parliament can overturn the president's decision, then I think parliament is now becoming independent. It's a trick by the Kenya Kwanza government. We know so many people have accused parliament and the judiciary of being working for the state working for the executive. Now, it is to try and make headlines that, yeah, you see, Parliament is independent. It has thrown out William Ruto's recommendations. Oh, hold on, hold your horses. Watu ni wakora. Anyway, God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next video. Asanteni sana.